Hey, every pony, thank you so much for 750 subscribers, every pony. I never thought that would ever be happening, every pony, but it is. And just like I promised, we are going to be answering Q&A questions, try some cider, and see what else we can do. Some ponies came up with other creative things that I should be doing today, and you know what? We're going to do all of these, but I at least thought that we're going to do a little bit of an order because I want to do the more complex questions and the ones where I still need to be paying a little bit more attention at the beginning when I'm still sober, and by the time we get to the ones that don't need me paying this much attention anymore, it's fine if I had a couple of ciders. Okay, so let's open our first cider. Let's see, this one is called Sheppy's Kingston Black Cider, every pony. And every pony, if you want a little bit of style points, there it goes. So how do I open my bottles of cider? I have a ladle, every pony, and I can use it to... Listen for it. Let me get this close to the mic. Got it. You can use a ladle to be able to pop open cider bottles. This is what I do, every pony. Gotcha. So let's see how this tastes. The way I'm gonna do this, I'm just gonna pour this in and give myself a decent cup, and we're just gonna do this with every cider bottle. There's a total of 14 cider bottles just standing off of the microphone. And let's go over the first question. So, what happened is 3 ponies more or less asked something about the family. One of them was called Mr. Lizard, and he asked how many cousins I had, and 2 others didn't really. As they said, they basically didn't want their names to be known. One of them asked how many cousins I have, and the other asked me how many relatives of the Leaf family there are. And I will answer all 3 questions with a family tree. There we go. This is a family tree. We're only doing 3 generations, or technically 4 for now, and this is only a branch. Otherwise this would be a solid 1-hour video, every pony, and I basically would be only answering 3 questions, which would be kind of unfair. But we're gonna do some of the more closer family members to mine. So at the top we have my grandpa Bayleaf, every pony. He has his own dock. He knows how to build ships, and he says that he used to do day-long sails outside on the sea with nothing, and he would conquer the biggest beasts and everything, and I believe him, every pony. I do it too. Then there's Honey Dust Maple, who does just about anything with honey you can imagine, from caramels to candies to even candles, every pony. There's no limit to honey in her book. And one day, or on multiple days, they had foes. There was Bush, there was Jasmine Leaf, and there was Fire Leaf. My mommy, she has a thing for designing leaves. Then we have Tumbleweed, and I think you probably have seen rolling bushes and all that, and he has a way of magic to make trees roll around on the ground, and apparently it's one of the most amazing things and funnest things you'll ever see. It's crazy, and I guess that explains where I got some things from. Then you have Yellow Greens, who is basically a cousin of mine, and she does the coloring in the leaves. Like if you ever have seen a leaf, how it turns its color from green to yellow to red, this is what that pony does. Then we have Drought Leaf, who is a cousin and daughter of Jasmine Leaf, and she does, like when a leaf gets all crumply like that, she makes it so that that works perfectly. Then Lily Pad does everything that basically floats on water. Then there is Shadow Leaf, who likes doing things with, well, darkness. And then there's Pixel, who likes doing everything with games. Then we have Beauty Leaf, who's amazing and adorable and does, you know, as you can imagine, like the name suggested, even she is great at dressing herself with just about anything. And then there's me, the magical, crazy pony that you've gotten to know. And if you go down even further, there is the son of Drought Leaf, Burrowberry, who I think he's quite older than Meadowlush. He apparently knows how to put berries into the ground and grow them, which is a pretty amazing science. And then there's Meadowlush, my daughter, and you see there's a branch off to the right, and we will be talking about that at some point. But if I go down that path and up all the way to 3 generations, yeah, see you in about 2 hours when we finish things, every pony. But there may be a reveal coming about that in due time, so stay tuned. Anyway, time to drink this first cider. Let's rate. Should we rate these ciders? I think we should rate these. I like this one a lot. It has a lot of fruitiness to it, but it's also very tart. It has a lot of strong flavors going in. This was the Sheppies. Yeah, this was the Sheppies. It is very sweet, but not too sweet. It has a lot of how do you say it? Yes, it's tart. Like I said, it's tart. It has a lot of bitter taste, like you'd expect from an apple. Not like overpowering bitterness, but the bitterness, the slight hint of bitterness that you'd expect when you're biting into parts of an apple. And of course, the fruitiness to go with it as well. Very, very amazing cider. Let me just finish this cup real quick, and I'll see you at the next question. This is also a pretty tricky one, where I still need all of my senses. Anyway, on to the next question. I felt that one. That would have had like 6.5%. Which is this one. Are you gonna read out everything loud that is written here? How about Welsh names? Of course I can read this, every pony. Are you thinking that I've only learned to speak like 2 days ago or something? It's easy. You see, it is actually the name of a town, but by the name of See? Nothing too difficult, every pony. And some pony was like, look, some pony was down here. That could be painful, and New Leaf might not be making it. See? But I did it, every pony. Now I'm opening the second cider called Henry Weston's Vintage Cider. What a tongue twister, every pony, but we got it. I'm already getting good at this, every pony, and you thought I would struggle with this. It's catching on to me. Now, let me open you. Aha. Oh. Do not carbonate splash me. Gotcha. And for those of you wondering if all these, open bottles are gonna go to waste, no, they're not. I'm gonna finish all these bottles before the outro. That's gonna be one heck of an outro. Anyway, let's pour this one. Henry Weston's Vintage Cider. Let's see how this tastes compared to Sheppy's. I think it has... it has the same amount of alcohol in it. Okay. And go. This is a lot more fruity, every pony. It is a lot more, sour almost. I like this. It has a lot of flavor going into it. It has a lot of, like after you've had a sip of it, you can still taste some of the sourness of an apple, and it's lasting, and, it definitely has a lot of tartness as well, but not as much as Sheppy's, but I love the fruitiness on this one. Henry Weston's is definitely my favorite one so far. I like it. Easily gonna be able to have all of this. Alright, that's that done. Oh my, those taste amazing. Let's just go from the top and answer all of you ponies' questions and see where the journey takes me. Okay, which one of your series takes the longest to record? Well, I thought about these questions and I came up with 2 that would potentially take a title for the longest recordings. One would be the mobile game, and 2 would be Fallout 4, because both of those series have took over 50 episodes in total to do. But if I had to declare a winner between those 2, it would have to be Fallout 4, because the mobile game never had 50 minutes or even hour-long episodes like Fallout 4 did, and we went through Fallout 4 multiple times, mind you. We had survival difficulty, we had the normal playthrough, we did 2 of the DLCs, and I already have other ideas of how we could possibly play through this game. No, seriously, if you want to have a crazy playthrough, do throwables only. That is gonna be a very, very different way of playing every pony. But, honorable mention, I would throw in Fallout Equestria Remains. Not, I mean, we did record a lot of it overall, but individual series they'd last long, but not as long as, say, those two, or even some of the other games like Skyrim, for instance. Skyrim also was a very long series, which we should play that again with some different mods, by the way, but one adventure at a time. Okay, cider. Bulmers. Let's do a Bulmers. I like Bulmers. Bulmers has not as much alcohol, which is fine. Gonna be helping us. Let me do the magic trick of opening you with a ladle. No, seriously, how did I come up with a ladle? That's a pretty interesting one, because it is a multitasking thing, every pony, at the end of the day, because you can cook your meals and have cider at the same time with a ladle, every pony. That is how we think, and mares always tell you that stallions can't multitask. Well, look at me go then. Okay, this is rebellious bottle cap. Bulmers, let's pour you. This is perfect, every pony. Okay, cup number 3. Oh, this didn't fill up all the way. This is so foamy that like half of it just immediately decided to retreat away. It's like, oh, I don't want to be drunk right now. Or you're all getting drunk eventually. Okay, let's taste. This seems to be a wonderful in-between. It doesn't have as much fruitiness, or better said, as much sourness as Henry Weston's, but it has a lot more apple flavor going to it, as I'd like to call it. It isn't very tart, either. Let's see. What is this? Okay, it says premium cider. I think it tastes the best so far because it has the most apple flavor, and, you know, it isn't overpoweringly bitter or too sweet like some other ciders can be. So I think this is my favorite so far. Anyway, let me quickly finish this cup and okay. How does one set up audio correctly? Well, the most important thing is to make sure that your headset works well and that there is not a lot of background noise to go on, because when there is fans or air conditioning, or say you're living next to a street and there's a lot of car noise, you don't want that. But if you have all of that, then you have to make sure that your voice, aka the microphone, works well together with your game audio that you're trying to record, and you have to make sure that those are balanced. And that can be a little bit of testing. Like, you have to listen to your own voice and then listen to how the game sounds, and just do a little bit of testing around. If you feel like you're a little too quiet, then go ahead and make your own voice a little bit louder. If you feel the game's too quiet and no one can hear it, make that louder. And inside of the game, there's also more settings that you have to watch out for. Like, some of them can make it so that voices are louder, like Fallout 4, take the example. Then some of them will make the radio louder, which is also a very nice feature. And you have to balance all that perfectly, and a lot of it is trial and error, really. But even if some things happen, like I do have a very loud PC, you can fix some of this in post-editing, like I do in, let me open a little bit of something. Here. This is Audacity, and I'm gonna give you a little bit of a tip and something how I do. Effect. So if I record any audio bit like this one right now, I can then, let me stop you real quick, and then if I go into effect, this is a add-on that I installed which helps you with background noise. Very nice, that. And it is called a noise gate, and you can use this to get rid of any sort of buzzing that may happen, because sometimes there's static that comes from your headphones, and you can use this add-on to get rid of some of that and other background noise as well. And it's been pretty helpful, even if I'm not thinking about YouTube, but had to do videos for the company that I work for or university as well on many occasions, and being able to use this to get rid of any loud buzzing laptop noises in the background has been a lifesaver, every pony. Whew. Anyway, next question. Whew, I already starting to feel the cider a little bit. Speaking of which, next cider. This is also a Sheppy's, but it is a raspberry cider. Raspberry cider. Interesting entry, every pony. I think Brayburn sent me the Sheppy's, and there's one that Twilight suggested, which is standing off of the side here. Then I think Luna sent me one too. Lots of ponies been doing their best to send me cider. Let's see if we get through this special. We'll do this properly, every pony. We'll do it right till the end. Sheppy's cider with raspberries. Here goes. Ah! Obey me, bottle fiend. Ah! Alright, you bottle cap, you're getting off one way or another. Okay, easy. So, question, this one. The one from Lemon. When and how did you become fascinated by the Pokemon? What made you want to become a Pokemon master? And who are your favorite Pokemon? I guess those are 3 questions, so let me dissect it. When and how did I become fascinated by Pokemon? I guess it's because I was little one day, and I found out about Charmander, you know, the lizard with the little flamey tail, and I thought he was cool, and I basically grew up with it. Like when it came out back in 2000, this is when I grew up, and I thought it was a really cool thing to do, but you know, after I think generation 2 or 3, I sort of turned away. There was like others. Wait, I forgot to cider. Let's see, I forgot to cider before this question. My bad. We'll do this now, and then we'll do another cider after this. This is really good. This is really good. You remember the first Sheppy's that we had that had a little bit of bitterness and tartness? The raspberry perfectly complements that, and it takes it away and replaces it with a little bit of sweetness and sourness from the fruit. I love that. So, as I was about to say, after season 2, or generation, no, not season, but generation 2, I went on a hiatus, got fascinated by other things. There was Digimon, there was other stuff, and what got me back ultimately is when I got a DS, and I think that it had Diamond 4, not Diamond 4, but it had like Diamond, which was generation 4, and I got into the competitive area every pony, especially when generation 5 came around, and I found a bunch of Pokemon that I thought were really cool, and I guess it was at the time when I started to become competitive and everything, and let's go over to this side, and it says, who are your favorite Pokemon? Well, my favorite Pokemon has to be Ferrothorn, because Ferrothorn has been winning so many battles for me. Let me show him to you. That is this guy, Looky. He has a bunch of thorns everywhere, and if you attempt to attack him, he will hurt you. He has a bunch of defenses to make sure that he is very hard to hurt, and he can annoy everyone by throwing out entry hazards, one of my favorite ways of dealing with enemies. And what makes him so cool is he can do just about everything with him, and no pony expects him. He obeys leaf logic, every pony, and this is why he is one of my favorites. And he has won many important clutch battles back in the day when I was competitively into Pokemon, back in Gen 5 and 6 to some extent, but you know, after that, I kind of got bored out of it. University came around, and what can I say? I still every now and then do battles on Pokemon Showdown, but it is not as much as it used to be. Anyway, next cider. This one is suggested by, I think that was, I don't remember. Let me read the paper. This was suggested by Flying Apple. There we go. And it is called Hogan's Fruity French Revelation Cider. Let me have you. Ugh. Can I feel the cider? I think you already can tell by my voice that I can feel the cider. I feel it a lot right now, and it's gonna be... Okay, how much is this? Does it say how much there is in it? How much alcohol? Oh, 4.8. That's barely anything. That's like drinking apple juice. Here goes. Don't bubble me, or I'll bubble you. Open up! Police! Oh, I guess he doesn't like the police. Got him. So, number 5. We got the French Revelation Cider. Let's give it a pour. Ooh-wee. This looks like liquid gold, every pony. It probably tastes like gold, but I don't know what gold tastes like. There's probably some dragon who can answer that question. Oh, lucky. It looks so clear. Go. Oh, I like this. This tastes mellow. I like it. It has this combination of mellowness and fruitiness together. It is very, very sweet too. Like, not overpoweringly sweet, but just balancing it out with the mellowness and the fruitiness. I like this one. This is an excellent one so far, and I think it is the best one so far. Let me line these up in the way that I think they were the best so far. So I think, if I had to make a top 3 so far, French Revelation first, Sheppy's Raspberry Cider second, and Bulmer's is third for now. Let me finish this cup and then we'll do the next question. So, Statisky Liturgian asked, what made you start your gaming YouTube channel? Did you look up someone on YouTube? There is a pretty extensive story. So let me dive into this one. So, once upon a time there was a pony who had depression and he was sad and everything, and I felt bad for him, so I decided to one day go ahead and make a gaming video for him, because I thought it would cheer them up a little bit, give them something to distract them and make them happy, make their day a little bit cheerful. And they watched it, but so did 10 other people that day that I didn't even know about. And what can I say? 10 people grew into 20 and 30, and nowadays we have like 30 to 40 people on every video. We have 750 subscribers. We have about 30 to 50 people on videos on average. It's been gathering quite the following, and all that because I tried to cheer up one little pony, and apparently I'm making a lot of other ponies' day just a little bit better, and that is quite an amazing feeling to say. The very least.
Daddy, can I have one of these?
Oh, Meadow Lush? Yes, you can have this one. This one isn't too strong.
Okay. Anyway, can I ask one too?
Sure, Meadow Lush.
Why cider?
Well, cider because it's, I guess, a thing that is for family occasions and drinking with other ponies, but it also tastes really good. Oh.
Okay.
Okay, Meadow Lush. I think I should answer the next question. Oh. Let me get this next bottle. This is the Barn Owl. Alright then, Barn Owl, how do you taste? Let's give it a pour. The Barn Owl. This was sent by Twilight, and she says that this is probably the best one if you exclude the apple family from whatever you call the best. And very fruity and sour. I love it. This tastes very, very flavorful. I like it. It is so appley. Like, not overwhelmingly fruity, but it just tastes like you're biting into a liquid apple. I like this. This is good. This is probably not gonna be the French Revelation, but it is definitely gonna replace replace the second place and shove everyone back. Whew. Yep, I've been having a little bit of cider. Who am I kidding? It's more than a little bit. I should be able to get through this. Okay. Whew. That one tastes amazing. A cup of this is perfect. Anyway, next question. Let's see. This was, I think Revere technically asked too, but his second thing wasn't really a question, so it didn't really matter. He asks, when will Leafcon ever happen? Fun fact, I did do a few things with conventions, but I think we can do answer some of this together with the question you see below. Did BronyCons in Europe and all just end? So if I ever have a convention myself or even a panel, I don't know, but fun fact, I did apply for a panel in one of the online conventions just because I was curious if I had any shot at making it at all. A lot of times just taking blind shots at things that you think that you might not be able to reach can turn into things that you suddenly make. So never be afraid to take chances in life, every pony. That is one thing that I always say. Take a chance. Sometimes you can become winner of something that you never thought you had a chance of winning. Next cider. Next cider! This is another Henry Weston's, but this one is supposed to be not medium dry, but it has a red marker on it, and it says that it is a special blend. So what can I say? Let's blend it. There you go. I already started opening some of these because that could become a problem later on when I'm having too much cider and I'm trying to fiddle around with a ladle. That could be dangerous and tough to do, so cheers, every pony. Ugh. Oh, Meadowlush. Jeez. I hope she knows what happens later today. Oh. Mm-hmm. Very wholesome. Very wholesome that it has. Compared to the regular Henry Weston's, I think it is less tart. But I also feel it's a little less fruity, but I feel there's some other spices in there, and I don't know what they are, but it still is a very, very good cider nonetheless. Anyway, next question. Why cookies? Really? You're asking why cookies? Well, looky, every pony. You'd be surprised if I told you that I have cookies right here. You can't make me not eat these. Why cookies, you ask? Because they're chocolatey, crunchy, sweet, delicious, flavorful, and you can incorporate so many things into them. You can even make rich cookies by inserting little bacon bits or berries. You can do just about anything with cookies, and they're also a universal accepted sign of friendship. You can give this to any pony, they will immediately know that you want to be their friend. It is one of the best way to communicate with ponies. Next cider. Up you go. That wasn't too bad. Let's see, what is this? This one's called Strongbow, and it is suggested by Soren, a member of the Wonderbolts, and he said that this is a good one to drink after a day of practicing. So we're drinking it in a special because it's a good way to celebrate. Oh well. Here goes. Oh, sheesh, I got some. I spilled a little bit, but not too much. Let's try you. What do the Wonderbolts drink? Oh.
I like it. It tastes almost sweet, like it's like eating one of those green apples, but instead you're throwing cinnamon sugar on it, but then biting into it. That's what that tastes like. I love it. It tastes very, very sweet, but also sour enough, and the balance between the two of them makes this a really, really, really good entry. Is it a top three? I think it is a top three. I think it is third place. It is third place behind the French Revelation and the Bulmer Cider for now. Whew. Next question. Did all BronyCons in Europe and America just end? Nope. You see, I was part of a convention for two separate editions, which was Heartswarming Con back in 2018 and 2020, which was the last editions, and I can tell you this much, even if you have a bunch of conventions ending, Heartswarming Con is already being placed with PonyCon Holland, then there is other conventions that are popping up that are brand new, like there is EuroBronyCon, which is I think in Austria. I think they're on their first edition, and it's pretty interesting to see how, you know, some conventions go and others do try to make it for themselves. It is a difficult thing. As someone who's helped run conventions before, I can tell you this much: there is going to be a lot of overcoming hurdles, getting things done, things standing in your way, but at the end of the day, you can make an amazing weekend for hundreds of people, and that is something that can drive you over mountains to make amazingness happen for a weekend. And you can make a lot of memories, a lot of experiences, but even if you're not as much into the pony side of things, you can also gain a lot of practical work experience. Like me, I do marketing for the humans and sell things, and even something like that, social media and all that, is super valuable to be able to know in today's world. And if you can do that reliably and get some practice on a pony convention, and then later you can tell your employer, hey, I've already done some of this, I know how this goes, then you can say, I have work experience, and work experience is a good way to get yourself into a nice place. And you can be the alicorn and rule a whole business, but I prefer being the alicorn in Equestria. Anyway, next question, and next cider. Woo. So this next cider is Somersby. Let me open, or wait, that one's already open. Whew, good. Let me just have a straight sip out of the bottle. Bottoms up, every pony. Oh, this is good. This is very sour, but like, not overly sour, but like if I'm imagining biting into a green apple, this is what I'm getting from this. This is what this tastes like. This is literally taking an apple and putting it into a bottle and making it fermented. This tastes great. It has this little hint of sweetness, but it's not overpowering it. It's just accompanying it, and I like this. This is definitely a worthy top 3 and replaces Bulmer's in the top 3 for now. Very, very good cider, this. Let's go to this one. First Mate Sky Chaser. He asks why barrels, and this is probably because when we ever play Trouble in Terrorist Town, and we should play this at some point, or even Among Us, this happens because I always chase him with ciders, and he's always, oh, these barrels can touch me, and I practically can't get hurt by them. But then me comes around and beats him with a barrel over the face, and is like, oh, barrels can do quite a few things, you know. They can bend through walls, they can bend in circles, they can take the shape of just about anything, and they can most certainly blow you up in about 2 seconds flat and send you across the screen, yelling and begging for mercy. I'm very passionate about barrels, and I think that barrels are very, very magical. Okay. Next question, and a cider. Woo. Next cider it is. And that'll come here. Let's get this one. This is the only one I didn't open yet. Whew, that one went out without, hissing, but I think that's not a bad thing. So let's give you a quick taste. I'm not even gonna bother with the cup anymore, but we're gonna drink all the open bottles just before the outro and see how that goes. I think it's gonna be spectacular, let's face it. Oh. Very interesting one. This one is, let's see, this one says this is the Winter Cider. Very amazing one. This one, it has hints of cinnamon in it, and I love it. This is something that goes perfectly well with apples. Like if you ever want to have an amazing dessert, you take puffed potatoes, you roll them into pancake shape, you fry that, and you put out applesauce and cinnamon on top of that, and you eat that. This is what I'm tasting here right now, and it is great. Whew, this could almost be a top 3. And it is actually going to be a top 2. So we now have Hogan's French Revelation as second. Hogan's French Revelation is first. This one is second, the Winter Cider, and we have the Raspberry Cider's ranked number 3. Very, very awesome ciders there. You ponies have been sending me good stuff, to say the least. Let's go down here. Dutch Poke Country Ball Chatbot asks, would you want to go on a date with Luna, and where would you go? I guess I would really like to go on a date with Luna, and perhaps that has been quite a thing. I really have a thing for the Princess of the Night. You see, there's quite a few similarities, and yet we are different enough to be interesting. And if I took out, well, I would be doing quite something different. You see, most ponies will just go ahead and take a pony like her out to an expensive restaurant, but what can I say to that? She's already an alicorn. It is where she probably goes most of the time, so I would do something quite opposite, like, and take her out to some more casual places, but then I would incorporate my own style to it and, take the food from there, but then I'd take her to my own castle and show her some of the amazing things, like the view onto the lake at night, and, where I live, it is the Everfree Forest, and not many ponies do go out here, and it is something that Luna would not get to see every day, and it is probably a great place to talk about just about anything and get to know each other, and I think me and Luna know each other quite well. You see, she knows my dreams, and I know what she does, because nature, and just going off of that, we already go well together, pretty much. But that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything yet. Who am I kidding, every pony? Maybe it does. So let's go ahead and scroll down real quickly, but I think I got all the questions here. There is a few more ponies who asked questions, but they didn't want to get mentioned, so I respect that, and we will be doing their questions. But just to quadra check and show you ponies this is everything, just prepare a screenshot and painful Leaf Logic. Oh, Leaf Logic got you with a ton, and you thought I'd fail that. Here's that thing again. You ponies said I wouldn't be able to say. Lanvaio Poquingo Cogero Quentrobo Lan Sicilio Go Go Go. Easy. Anyway, the questions of the ponies that didn't want to be spoken, we're just going to be doing them as we go. So one of the ponies asked me, New Leaf, what is your most powerful spell? And I can tell you it is the Black Sun, and it is made a occurrence on a few audiobook chapters, which there is going to be one next week, by the way, every pony. And it sounds a little bit like this. When I use this usually means that someone somewhere, or some building somewhere, has a really big crater, or some mountain got destroyed, and it does take a few moments to charge up, but when I release it, every pony knows there's a new landscape now, and if there was someone's home, it's probably gone, and whatever happens to cinders. No pony knows what happens to cinders. Next question, and Cider. Cider, 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 come to me, Cider! So this is the last bottle, everything else is just gonna be cans, and I'm opening those, just to make it easy on me. Yeah, what? Wrong bottle. This one didn't even have a cap yet. Come you. That wasn't too bad. This one is called the Spring Cider. Alright, Spring Cider. Let's see what you got. Very interesting. I like it. It tastes not as sour as, say, the Somersby one or even the Winter Cider, but this one tastes a lot more earthy, almost. Like, if you've ever eaten a red apple, those don't taste as much sour, but there's a lot more fruitiness to go with it, and I like it. This is exactly what I'm tasting in this one, and it is very, very amazing and delicious to taste. Love it. Very good cider, but I don't think it is gonna crack a top 3 of what I have here so far. We only have 2 questions, actually. Here we have an interesting one, and they said that, you know, it doesn't obviously matter, because this is a regular comment, and it doesn't matter if the name pops up. They asked this. MH Soccer says, how about the MLP map that PewDiePie played, but I wouldn't recommend it. It has lots of memes. It's, I think, the one that has Fluttershy in it, and I think we should be playing this at some point, but what is keeping me right now is that I'm not sure whenever Amnesia Rebirth is coming up, because they said it is this year in fall. I don't know if the whole corona pandemic is gonna do something, but it is one of those games that I've been highly anticipating on, and you know, if this shows up, we are most certainly gonna have to play this. It is I think supposed to be not a spiritual successor like Machine for Pigs, but it is actually supposed to directly continue where the original Dark Descent left off, and that is something that does throw a lot of promising ideas into it. So there's 2 more questions that I could get in something that I also do, like if there's 3 similar questions like we did it at the beginning with the family tree, I will, you know, compile this into one answer. 2 more ciders and 2 more questions. So this next one was another pony who didn't want to be mentioned. They asked me, what do I think about the pandemic in the human world? And I tell every pony to make sure to wear your masks. It's simple. It's good for protecting you, and you need to make sure that you stay safe, but it also is a learning experience for some of you. Like, you get to work from at home. It is a good way to take a little bit of stress, like a lot of people, and that is a true one in so many ways. A lot of people take hours to get to their jobs every single day, and nowadays those people can work from home. You can sleep in a couple hours and just get up whenever you're ready to work. It is that simple. It takes a lot of stress out of your day, and you're still getting your job done, and not only is it good for you, but the person employing you is also saving potential working costs. He doesn't have to have like some huge office building. He, you know, also can work from his own place if he wants to do that, and do what a lot of modern businesses are doing. And I think there's a lot of value in it as well. Like, you get to interact with your customers on a basic and almost personal level, and find out what they like and don't like, and being able to adapt to this without the need of having to go to your office every week and find out what they're doing, and just being able to read all of this data right from, you know, literally across your own bedroom is valuable. And I think the crisis is a pandemic. It is bad, it is dangerous, but every crisis also comes with its own chances and things that you can take away from. And that is something that I also consider to be a life lesson. There's always bad that comes with there's always good that comes with the bad, is what I'm trying to say. And this crisis is no different. So even if there is a lot of staying at home and it is horrible and I hate it too, might I say, there's good stuff to come from it, and you can grow with it, every pony. That is one thing that nature teaches you. Even if there is forest fires, you can come back stronger, and nature most of the time does. 2 more questions. Let's see, these questions kind of came in after I ordered the cider, so we're just going to do these as we go, and I'm just going to have a couple of some of the other ciders that I already opened as we move along, so that is going to be quite fine. So here we have someone who asked, what is your favorite childhood game to play? And I have to almost give a generic answer, because it is one of these games that is so fundamental, but it is also so impactful for just about everyone who's grown up. And I would have to say it is probably Mario 64 because I grew up with it. And it was one of those things that got me really, really fascinated about gaming. I mean, you could travel through paintings, you could pick up stars. There was also a lot of silly creatures, like you had chain chomps. Those are basically supposed to be dogs, but they're like giant balls that are attached to chains, and which is why they call chain chomps. And a lot of those creatures just ended up fascinating me, and this is where I like learned that exploring and seeing everything is fun and amazing, and what can I say, it is what I do. And it is also a game that inspires, and a lot of amazing things came after this game. Like, if you imagine all of the games that came after Super Mario 64, a lot of those picked up on the, hey, let's collect 120 stars, or give someone a whole bunch of different worlds to go into. And I think it's fundamental in that aspect because it is inspiring, and a lot of things came after it, and that to me is a good game. Not only if you yourself can be good, but if others start to pick up from you and try taking some of the things you do and incorporate them into your own work, that's when you know you've done something amazing. Alright, final question. So this last one also didn't want to be mentioned, but I think I know why. They said, do you have a crush on ponies? And I had, actually I answered that with what I did in a game called Pony Amnesia. Let me see if we can find that. Pony Amnesia. Pony Amnesia. There we go. This one right here that I played at some point, you see the thumbnail right here? You have 3 ponies that this game thought would be compatible with me, and I agree. It's had Luna, Fluttershy, and Twilight, and all 3 of those are amazing ponies, I say, because they have a lot of stories. They're very similar to me. They're a little shy and introverted, but they have a lot of depth, and there's a lot of things to talk about, a lot of magic, a lot of nature, and I think they're amazing ponies, but I think I have my preference. Alright, I think that is... But I think with this we're pretty much at the end, and what can I say, but I think all 750 guys and girls of you who thought pressing subscribe on this channel was the best thing to do. So much for your trust. You've been following this channel, and I guess we can talk a little bit about things that I want to do. I want to change the way this channel's been going. We have been losing a few viewers over the past weeks, and I think that's because we're not doing so much pony content, and I feel we're gonna try and do some of the pony series that we haven't done in a while, because remember, I restructured the channel, and we're gonna finish some of the series that we never finished, and most importantly, the Pony RPG. And we're gonna finish the Ponyvania playthrough as of right now, and accompanying that, we'll be having a Wednesday thing, which is probably gonna be the mobile game and or karaoke and or other flash games that we're gonna play. And on the weekends, we're gonna be having a new MLP pen and paper. Like, we're working with a new book which is called Aspirations of Harmony, which is going to give us a little bit more depth, a lot more abilities, and make it a little more understandable for those of you watching at home. And I think that is a good thing. And on Sundays, at least next Sunday, there's going to be a chapter of the audiobook, and coming Friday, or this Friday at least, you're going to be having the special. And for other Fridays, there's probably going to be a non-pony game that we're going to be playing, but I don't know which it is going to be yet. I'm leaning towards maybe Minecraft, but we could also do something like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, as was suggested by someone, but I'll leave that up to you, every pony. Anyway, I suppose now it's time for me to drink all these ciders, and I'll make the outro. Oh boy. Alright, every pony. But I suppose with that, I thank all 750 of you so much for watching. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. And remember, every pony, drink in moderation, and sharing is caring. Also, if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel. You'll be notified whenever there's a new video, and there's new stuff for you every single day, including a stallion who's aiming for 1,000 subscribers at this point. Yeah, I said it. I'm aiming for 1,000, and we'll see when we get there. Haha.